Welcome back. This is Charlie, who recently took one of my bowmaking classes. He'll be taking the helm today and making an Osage bow in my workshop, while I sit back and explain the process. If you buy an Osage stave, you can skip these first 3 steps and go straight to chasing a growth ring. But if you cut your own tree, you're going to have to split the log up into staves, and then seal the end grain with some wood glue or sealer. When you dry your Osage, either take off both the bark and the sapwood, and then seal the back, or leave on both the bark and the sapwood. From there, dry your staves until they reach equilibrium moisture content with the environment. You'll know that they're done if the staves stop losing weight. Now we're ready to chase a growth ring. The back of the bow needs to have a clean strip of fibers, all the way through so that it's strong in tension. Chasing a growth ring is one way to accomplish that. With most species of bowwood, you actually don't have to chase a growth ring, especially with the so-called whitewoods, like ash, elm, hickory, hazel, etc. With Osage, the heartwood's the good stuff, and that's what's rot resistant. So it's worth the effort of taking off the sapwood and chasing the back down to a single growth ring of heartwood. That way you have a clean strip of fibers from end to end, and your back will be strong in tension. Once the back of the bow is cleaned up, we can choose our design and draw the layout of the bow right on the back of the stave. That's going to let us cut out the front profile, which will clean up the sides of the bow. Once the sides are clean, we can draw our thickness taper on the sides and start the rough out stage. With a natural stave, you want to follow the fibers, because that's where the strength of the wood lies. If there are any bends and wiggles in the fibers, you want to include those in the layout of the bow. It's time to start tillering the bow. Tillering is all about evenly distributing the bending stresses, so that no one part of the bow is overworked. In practice, the way we do that is by subtly refining the tapers of the bow, and then checking how the bow bends. We can then go back and touch up the thickness taper again, and on and on and on, until we're happy with how the bow's bending and how far it's bending. The further we get into the tillering process, the finer and finer the adjustments we make will be, and the longer we'll spend judging the bend and making sure we're removing wood from the right places. The central idea in tillering is that you only want to remove wood from the stiff areas, and you want to leave any areas that are already bending alone. You don't want to touch those spots. Well, there it is. 35 pounds at 30 inches of draw. Just right for Charlie. We also put some deer antler overlays on the tips and a leather handle on the grip. Thanks again, Charlie, for supporting the craft and taking my workshop. And to the rest of you, thanks for watching and subscribing. Well, that's all for today. I'll see you next time. Until then, may your arrows fly true.